Time now for a wrap of the day's sports, and for that I'm joined here in the studio by Katavan Gorjastani, and we're going to start, Catherine, with the biggest and most intense race in the sailing world, the Vendée Globe, where skippers have been at sea for just over a day, but some have already broken away and are heading up front.
Yes, less than 30 hours in this race, and already 155 miles between the front and the back of the fleet. Armelle Lecléache and Britain's Alex Thompson have been battling it out at the front, with the Frenchman ahead at 6 p.m. Jean-Pierre Dick was third, while Vincent Rioux on PRB is fourth, as you can see there. That's his boat on these images, 13 miles behind Lecléache. And after a sunny start yesterday on Sunday, the weather conditions were a little bit tricky overnight. Jérémy Bayou breaking a tooth after a bad fall, while Quito de Pavon lost a lot of time sorting out a sail problem. He's now 27 miles behind in 15th place. Then there's another group at the rear of the fleet, those whose main goal is to finish the race and who are already more than 100 miles behind the front runners. And you saw the images of that beautiful rainbow this morning. And one more word about Spaniard Didac Costa, who had to return to the Sables d'Olonne to fix a technical problem on Sunday. It's now a race against the clock for him. He has 9 days to get back on the water. Otherwise, he will be forced out of the race. Moving on to some football news. It's once again time for the international break ahead of the 2018 World Cup qualifiers coming up over the weekend. Les Bleus got together at Clairefontaine, their headquarters outside of Paris. One player is in the squad for the very first time, Paris Saint-Germain's Adrien Rabiot, and also there are several key players who are returning, like Arsenal's Olivier Giroud and veteran Patrice Evra, whose recall came after Layvin Kurzawa dropped out today. It was all about greetings and settling in with the friends, but of course the focus is on Friday's World Cup qualifier against Sweden. The two teams are top of Group A, level on points and on goal difference, which means that whoever wins will be taking the lead alone. Friday's game will also be a night of tributes. A minute of silence will be held before kickoff in memory of the 130 victims of the Paris attacks. Last year, on November 13th, the Stade de France was the scene of a suicide bombing during a friendly between France and Germany, and the blast killed one bystander outside of the stadium. Now, England players were also gathering at their training camp in St. George's Park. England will be without Tottenham midfielder Dele Alli, who is injured, while Arsenal's Theo Walcott could drop out as his wife is expecting a baby any time now. But Harry Kane has returned to the squad, and so has Jack Wilshere. The Three Lions preparing for their first competitive game against neighbours Scotland since 1999, which will take place on a Friday. England are the favourites as they currently sit top of Group F and are closing in on this top spot in the 2018 World Cup. But Scotland, in fourth place, will be fighting to keep their qualification hopes alive. And the game will take on a more solemn note, as both teams have planned to wear black armbands with embroidered poppies to honor Britain's war dead for Remembrance Day. Both football associations for England and Scotland have said that they were ready to face FIFA sanctions, since the move would be a breach of FIFA rules banning political or religious messages. An important gesture for interim England manager Gareth Southgate.
As the head coach, I was keen for us to wear the poppies. I think it's very important. It's part of the history and tradition of what we are as a nation, the remembrance, the fact that we have the freedom of speech to make statements as we see fit. We owe to people that gave their lives in the two world wars in particular. Of course, the poppy now commemorates a lot more than that, and I understand people have individual views on that, but I think the history of what we are as a team, and we represent the nation, is important to note, and I think the fact we're wearing the poppy is the most important thing.
We finish with some basketball and NBA action. The Lakers were facing the Suns at a Staples Center, and the home team quickly took the lead. LA led by 8 points by the end of the first half and 11 by halftime, but Phoenix fought back in the fourth quarter. Devin Booker knocking down a three-pointer and driving in for a three-point play to trim the Suns' deficit to just one little point. Booker had a career high of 39 points, but Nick Young was there to put the Lakers back up and to win it 119-108. The Lakers' third straight win. LA now have 4 wins and 3 losses. That's their first winning record in nearly 3 years. So good night for the Lakers. There were 5 other games overnight, and it wasn't really a good night to be playing at home. The Celtics were blown out by the Nuggets 123-107, while the Raptors, the Knicks, and the Grizzlies were all defeated at home. The only other home win of the night came for the Mavericks. Dallas getting their first win of the season, 86-75 in overtime against the Bucks.
Thank you, Catavan. Good news to hear.